We are moving on to preparations. Take a stretch, look around, get your eyes away from the screen. I know they're beautiful slides, but give your eyes a break from looking at the computer, and let's roll through preparation engagements. Here, this section is going to apply when an accountant in public practice is engaged to prepare financial statements or prospective financial information. The determination about whether the accountant has been engaged to prepare financial statements or merely assist in preparing financial statements, which is a bookkeeping service that is not subject to this section. The difference here being we've got you could be hired to do bookkeeping, right? But you could also just be doing an actual preparation engagement. This is an actual engagement with an actual set of rules, with an actual letter, and it's a set thing. Whereas you could also just be a bookkeeper. That's different. Determining the difference there is determined based on services the client requests the accountant to perform and requires the accountant to apply professional judgment. Understanding the difference there. An engagement to prepare financial statements is a non-attest service. We're not attesting to anything. We're not giving any level of assurance over this, and does not require a determination about whether the accountant is independent of the entity. We don't have to worry about it. You could have your brother or sister, someone works for the entity. You don't even have to determine if you're independent, right? So not only do we not have to worry about if we are independent, we don't even have to think about if we are independent. In addition, an engagement to prepare financial statements does not require the accountant to verify the accuracy or completeness of the information provided by management, or otherwise gather evidence to express an opinion or a conclusion or otherwise report. There's really not much you're going to do here other than just prepare them. The objective of this is to prepare financial statements pursuant to a specified financial reporting framework, which is probably GAAP. Preparation engagements require no responsibility of the CPA to apply procedures beyond reading the financial statements for obvious material misstatements. Sounds a lot easier, right? Well, probably you're gonna make a little bit less money if you do preparations compared to an audit. That's why the more work you do, the more you get paid. In a preparation engagement, each page of the financial statements should have a statement indicating that no assurance is provided. Make sure you know that. If management refuses to let the preparer include this statement, well, why would they do that? Maybe they want people to think that they were audited when they really weren't. If they refuse to let you do that, the auditor should issue a disclaimer making it clear that no assurance was provided, choose to perform a compilation engagement instead, or just get the heck out of there. As compared to reviews, audits, and compilations, preparation engagements are non-attest engagements. So we're going to see lots of charts and graphs for you to memorize what's attest, what's not, when independence is required, when it's not. But make notes of these here when you see it and memorize these facts. Let's talk about management's responsibilities when it comes to preparation engagements. Well, the engagement to be performed is conducted on the basis that management acknowledges and understands that our role, and who are we? We are the preparer, is to prepare financial statements in accordance with accounting principles, so GAAP. Management has the following overall responsibilities that are fundamental to the preparer undertaking the engagement to prepare management's financial statements in accordance with SARS. So SARS is not attestation, right? Statement on attestation standards. That is SSAE. This is SARS, memorizing that preparation engagements fall under SARS. What are the responsibilities? Well, the selection of GAAP as the financial reporting framework to be applied in the preparation of the financial statements. Management is responsible for making sure GAAP is being followed. Management is responsible for the design, implementation, and maintenance of internal control relevant to the preparation and fair presentation of the financial statements. We see this a lot. And yeah, right, I'm repeating the same things because a lot of these apply to every engagement. Management is always going to be responsible for these factors. Management is responsible for the prevention and detection of fraud. Management is also responsible to ensure that the entity complies with laws and regulations. Management is responsible for the accuracy and completeness of the records, documents, explanations, and other information, including judgments. That is all on management. Now we're starting to see some differences between preparations and, let's say, an audit, right? We're not going to start seeing these in an audit. And lastly, the management is responsible to provide the preparer with documentation and other related information that is relevant to the preparation and presentation of the financial statements, additional information that may be requested for the purpose of the preparation of the financial statements, and unrestricted access, no scope limitations, persons within ABC Company of whom we determine necessary to communicate. This is something that pretty much going to be relevant for any engagement as well. You do not want a scope limitation. If you are doing your job, just get the heck out of my way, give me the documents I need, and let me talk to whoever I need. Lastly, the financial statements will not be accompanied by a report, so understanding what is the end goal of each engagement. I want you to make a list, right? I mean, we've obviously, like I said, we've got charts and everything, but I want you to make a list for yourself. It's always good to write it down yourself. I'm not going to say, write down everything we got on the slides, but make a list of what is the end goal of each engagement. Well, for preparations, there's no report, but for audits, there are. I would make notes. Is there a report issued at the end of each engagement, right? What's the end deliverable for agreed upon procedures? It could be very different, right? We see that in that lesson there. However, at the end, you agree that the financial statements will clearly indicate that no assurance is provided on them. You being management, this is the auditor, the preparer talking to management. Gosh, I say auditor a lot. Well, I mean, shocker, it's because it's the audit exam. Let's talk about the AICPA in relation to preparation engagements. When there's an indication that fraud or noncompliance with laws or regulations has occurred or is suspected to have occurred, the effects of which should be considered when preparing the financial statements, the accountant should do what? Talk about what the AICPA wants you to do here. When there is fraud here, we are going to communicate identified or suspected fraud as soon as practical, the appropriate level of senior management. This is something we're going to do in every engagement. Tell the level above where the fraud was committed as soon as appropriate and whenever you can do it. Communicate to management identified or suspected noncompliance. Request management's assessments of the effects of any of these issues. Consider the effect and management's assessment of the effects of fraud and noncompliance on the conclusion at the end of the financial statements. Lastly, determine whether there is a responsibility to report the occurrence or suspicion of fraud or noncompliance with laws and regulations to a party outside the entity. Sounds very good there. Let's talk about reports. Well, in a preparation engagement, each page of the financial statements should have a statement indicating that no assurance is provided. If management refuses to let the preparer include the statement on each page, the auditor should issue a disclaimer making it clear that no assurance is provided. And also possibly they could choose to perform a compilation engagement or withdraw from the engagement overall. Hey there! Are you ready to not only pass your CPA exams, but truly understand and enjoy the material while studying? I know it seems impossible, right? Especially to enjoy the material? We'll do it together. Tap into the power of CPA.examprep.ai, where we've got personalized quizzes, multiple choice questions, memorization guides, flashcards, simulations, all tailored to your learning. Our adaptive study planning puts you on the fastest path to success and lifts you back up if you fall behind. Avoid wasting your precious time and money attempting an exam with a low chance of passing, because who wants that? We want to get you through this process as quick as possible. Our exam readiness prediction lets you walk in with confidence, knowing that you're prepared for success on exam day. Thankfully, there's no payment method needed to get started, so why don't you come join us? Visit cpa.examprep.ai and let's achieve your exam success together.